You have only 3 kinds of non-contact forces. Okay?
Okay.
Reply for every line. What are these? What are the non-contact forces?
Force,
What force?
magnetic force,
Yeah.
and electric.
And one more. Gravitational, magnetic, and electrostatic. 3 forces are non-contact. Only 3 kinds of forces are non-contact forces. All others are contact forces. Gravity, Earth's gravity, then magnet and electrostatic. All others are contact forces except these 3. All others except gravity, except magnet, except this, all others are contact forces. Okay?
Okay.
আরে সে ফর এভরি লাইন আমাকে প্রত্যেকবার জিজ্ঞেস করতে হবে গো অন সেইং ফর এভরি লাইন ইউ হ্যাভ টু রিপ্লাই ফর এভরি লাইন আমি প্রত্যেকবার জিজ্ঞেস করবো তারপরে ইয়েস বলবে তা না ইউ হ্যাভ রিপ্লাই ফর এভরি লাইন সো অনলি দিস 3 আর নন কন্ট্যাক্ট ফোর্সেস gravity, magnets and electrostatic. All others are contact forces. Now friction. So friction is what kind of force? Contact or non-contact? Friction is contact force. Friction is a contact force. And what does it do? What is the work of friction? Friction has only one work. What does it do? It tries to oppose motion. That opposes motion, against motion, tries to stop a body from moving. Tries to. So the main effect of force friction would be to slow down or stop. Slow down, stop a body in motion, or to prevent a body from moving. Prevent a body from moving. So either it will slow down, supposing it is already moving, it will become slow. The speed will become slow and then stop, and ultimately stop. Or if you push something heavy, it doesn't move, it tries to stop the body from moving. So this is the book definition. Friction is a contact force that opposes motion. There is a book definition, but for our purpose we will remember that friction means rubbing. Whenever there is friction, there is rubbing between two things. Okay, so what are the cases where you can rub? So for instance, when you are walking, when you walk, where is the rubbing? Between your shoes and the ground. Between shoes, that is the bottom of the shoes. Shoes mane ekdam tola, jutor tola. Between shoes and the ground. Right?
Yes.
A car is moving. So what happens? Kothay rubbing? Between. Rubbing kothay hoy? Between. When a car is moving, the rubbing is between. When a car is moving, the rubbing will be between tire, the rubber tire and the road. When you are supposing cleaning utensils, mane bashan maja between your scotch brite, that is actually rough pad we call it, between the scrubbing pad, scotch brite scrub pad, between the scrub pad and the utensil. Bashনের সঙ্গে scotch brite বা যেটা দিয়ে বাসন মাজি. When you are sweeping, ঝাড়ু দেবে, when you are sweeping the floor, তখন ঝাড়ু between broom, যে ঝাড়ু মানে broom, between the broom and the floor. Between the broom and the floor, there is rubbing. So when you are walking, it is between your shoes and the rubber. When a car is moving, it will be between the rubber tires of the car and the road. When you are cleaning, it will be with the scrub pad and utensil. When you are sweeping, jhadu debe, তখন it is between the broom and the floor. So all the cases you have rubbing. So without rubbing, there is no friction. In fact, friction is another name for rubbing.
Okay.
A friction is a contact force. এটা তো বইতে লেখার জন্য, but বুঝবে whenever there is rubbing, there is friction. Rubbing মানে even you push a chair on the floor, at a chair বা a table, when you are pushing on the floor, তাহলে chair এর যে পায়া, the leg of the chair and the floor, the leg of the chair and the floor, again there will be rubbing. So when you are writing, what happens? When you are writing, কোথায় rubbing হবে? When you are writing
between
say
খাতা
pen or pencil and paper. Pen or pencil and paper. Between the paper and the pen or pencil. When you are rubbing, when you are writing, sorry. When you are writing, then also you are rubbing the pen or the pencil. Or when you are writing on the board, it is between the chalk and the wooden board. When you write on blackboard, then you get between chalk and
board.
Yeah, which is actually wood. Chalk and the wood, that is wooden board. So friction is rubbing. That is the first thing. So this definition we will only keep it for book. But for our purpose, we will say friction means rubbing. Right? So after rubbing, what happens? There are three things that will happen when you are rubbing. When you are rubbing, what will happen? First is it requires force to move. Without force, you can't move. Unless there is force, you can't move. And it requires, second thing is that it requires force to move. It cannot move by itself, and also small force, you cannot push a heavy object. Halka force at a bhari object, you cannot move. Why? At a bhari jinish, একটুখানি ঠেলা দিলে কিছু হবে না. Why? Supposing it is a very heavy thing and you are trying to move it with a small force, you cannot move. Why? Friction opposes. Friction will oppose and the two will become balanced forces. A small push, halka push, a small push cannot move a heavy object. খুব ভারী আছে, heavy object, halka push দিলে হবে না. Why? Because friction opposes. That is because friction opposes, and you get a balanced force. The push is equal to the friction. Push is equal to friction. Tumar push this one are equal and in opposite direction. Push is equal to friction but in opposite direction. So what happens? They form balanced forces. So the total resultant will be a balanced force. That means net effect 0. Practically the effect is 0 and the object will not move. দুটো equal হলে কি হবে? Balanced force. If the two are balanced force, তাহলে total 0. Okay? So if a thing does not move at a bhari almari, if you cannot move, it is because of friction. Friction না থাকলে একটা, even with a finger you can move. একটা আঙ্গুল দিয়ে মুভ করা যাবে, single finger, one finger. With a finger I can move an almirah. With a finger I can move even a big lorry I can move. But it is the friction which is preventing the motion. ফ্রিকশন যদি না থাকে একটা আঙ্গুল দিয়ে আমি একটা ভারী লরিকেও মুভ করতে পারি। Maybe it will move slowly, but I can move. But it is a friction. When my push is equal and opposite to the friction, then they become a pair of balanced forces, so they won't move. So it is a friction which stops the motion. Okay?
Okay.
So that is the first effect. It requires force to move. Second effect is it causes heating. অনেকক্ষণ ঘষলে জিনিসটা গরম হবে, it causes heating. You can rub your hands or anything, you go on rubbing, after some time it will become hot. Yeah, mixer grinder, mixie grinding, after some time it becomes hot. Pakha, fan after 4 ঘন্টা চালাও it becomes hot. এই যে hot হচ্ছে friction causes heating. So friction requires, because of friction it requires force to move any object. It causes heating. যে কোনো জিনিস গরম হয় তো চললে, whatever it is, fan, mixie, heatingটা হচ্ছে from friction. It is from friction that it causes. Matchbox, দেশলাই, matchbox, when you rub, it is a heat না হলে তো জ্বলবে না, দেশলাই তো জ্বলবে না. Because of the heat you can rub and get the matchstick lighted. So matchstick, deshlai, that is because of heating. Rubbing causes heating. So rubbing causes heating. Rubbing, that is because of friction, you require a large force to move. And third is it will damage the surface. It will damage the surface. একটা নতুন জুতো আর পুরনো জুতো, what is the difference? একটা নতুন জুতো কেন and একটা পুরনো, sorry, damages. একটা নিউ শু and old shoe, তলাটা দেখবে, দেখেছো নতুন জুতো আর পুরনো জুতো, the bottom of that,
Yes.
কি হয় তলাটা? What happens? নোংরা ছাড়া নোংরা তো পরিষ্কার করা যাবে, that you can clean also. If it becomes dirty you can clean. তারপরে কি হবে? ঘষে ঘষে পাতলা হয়ে যায়.
Yes, sole.
Yeah, sole becomes very thin, damaged. This kind of damage, a tire type, you see an old tire and a new tire. কোনো জায়গায় যে কোনো একটা গাড়িতে একটা পুরনো টায়ার আর নতুন টায়ার, সেম থিং, ঘষে ঘষে নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে. So it damages the thing. এই যে damage, this is called wear and tear. This is what we call wear and tear. যখনই দেখবে বইতে wear and tear, this one, damage due to rubbing. This is the damage due to rubbing is called wear and tear. Clear হলো?
Yes.
আমাকে আবার জিজ্ঞেস করতে হচ্ছে, নিজের থেকে বলবে তো, প্রত্যেক লাইনে করবে. This is called wear and tear. It can be shoe, it can be the car tire, it can be your eraser, anything after use, a wear and tear. That is the damage to the surface caused by repeated rubbing. একদিন তো নয়, repeated. After 6 months, 1 year, কতটা হেঁটেছো. So repeated rubbing damages the surface. This is called, বইতে যেটা আমরা টেকনিক্যালি বলে, wear and tear. This is called wear and tear. So heat trying to oppose the motion and wear and tear, these are the three main effects of friction. So effects of friction, it opposes motion, that means it makes motion difficult. It opposes motion. Second, it causes heating. Whenever there is rubbing, the thing becomes hot. After you go on rubbing, the thing will become hot, and it damages the surface, which we call repeated rubbing damages the surface, that is called wear and tear. এই wear and tear এর মানেটা বুঝে নাও. কোনো জায়গায় বোঝানো থাকবে না, there's wear and tear এটাই। Got it?
Got it.
That I have to ask. You should say without asking for every line. চুপচাপ বসে থাকলে পড়াশোনা হয় না, you have to go on asking questions. So repeated rubbing will cause damage. Wear and tear এর মানেটা ওইভাবে কোনো জায়গায় বইতে বোঝানো থাকবে না, they just write wear and tear. The wear and tear means that repeated rubbing damages the surface. That is the reason old things are damaged. বাসন মেজে মেজে লাস্টে ফুটো হয়ে যাবে, একটা বাসন আজকে মাজবে 1 বছর পরে ফুটো হয়ে যাবে, দ্যাট ইজ wear and tear. Repeated rubbing, বারবার বাসন মেজে, repeated rubbing, that is what wear and tear means. Repeated rubbing will cause the wearing out of the surface, that is wear and tear. So it causes wear and tear. So these are the 3 main effects of friction. Friction opposes motion, friction causes heating, friction damages the surface, that is wear and tear. 3 effects: opposing motion, heating effect, and wear and tear. The 3 main effects of frictions between surfaces, that friction forces actually. Friction is a force. The friction, that is rubbing, repeated rubbing, stopping the motion, heating effect, the thing will become hot, heating effect, and damaging the damaging the surface, repeated rubbing, damaging the surface, called wear and tear. These are the effects of friction. So actually what we did was effects of friction. Effects of friction: 1, it opposes motion. Second, these 3 will be called the these 3 we will call it the these 3 are the effects of friction. Friction results in stopping the motion or preventing motion, opposing motion, heating effect. The heating effect, the thing will become very hot, and it damages the surface, wear and tear. And what is wear and tear? Repeated rubbing damages the surface. Repeated, একবার তো নয়, repeated rubbing damages the surface, that is wear and tear. So that is the meaning of wear and tear. Right?
Okay.
Repeated, একবার নয়, একটা জুতো যদি if you are wearing for 6 months, 6 months-এ কতটা হেঁটেছো, একবার তো নয়. So repeated rubbing, the repeated rubbing damages the surface, wear and tear. So heating effect, opposing motion, and wear and tear, the 3 effects of friction. Right?
Okay.
Now after effects of friction, always remember this one: friction means rubbing. Friction means rubbing. Eta mone thakle half of the friction can be understood. Friction means rubbing. We write friction is a contact force that opposes motion. Ta boite lekha hoy, porikhay likhte hobe, but you remember friction means rubbing. আমাদের বোঝার সুবিধার জন্য we will remember friction মানে rubbing. But যখন এক্সামে লিখবে তখন এটা লিখবে, friction is a contact force that opposes motion. But তুমি বোঝার সময় friction মানে rubbing, rubbing মানে friction, friction মানে rubbing. Okay?
Okay.
When you understand, তোমার বোঝার জন্য সবসময় think friction মানে rubbing, friction মানে rubbing, friction মানে rubbing. But when you write in the exam, you will write this one: friction is a contact force that opposes motion. Now there are the 3 kinds of friction. One is called static friction. Static friction. That means the body is not moving. You are pushing the body, but it is not moving because your push is equal to the friction, and they form a pair of balanced forces. They cancel each other. When a force does not move the body, when the body is not moving, even if there is a force. There is a force, but still the body is not moving. I am pushing the body. I am pushing the body, but still the body is not moving. আমি তো push করছি, but still it is not moving. Why? That is friction is equal to the push. You are pushing or pulling, whatever it is. It can be pushing or pulling, whatever it is. You are pushing the body or pulling the body. The friction is equal to the force. The push or pull. The friction is equal to that push or pull. Friction is equal to the force. And they form a pair of balanced forces. They form a pair of balanced forces that will cancel each other. So effect is zero. That is the reason why the body does not move. So if the body is not moving and yet you are pushing or pulling, then it is static friction. So static friction means the body is not moving. You are trying to move, but the body is not moving. Friction is equal to the force. So balanced forces, they will cancel. Plus 5 and minus 5 cancelled. They're zero. So body does not move. When the body is not moving, even after pushing, it is static friction. Okay?
Okay.
Say that. আমি জিজ্ঞেস করার পরে বলবে। You have to say that. আমি প্রত্যেকবার জিজ্ঞেস করবো তারপর বলবে go on saying. এরপরে আনসার না করলে ক্লাসটা বন্ধ করে দেবো। Go on saying every line. So what is a static friction?
Static friction is a not moving.
Not moving, although you are pushing. If you are not pushing, তাহলে কোনো friction নেই. You are pushing or pulling, but the body is not moving. You are pushing or pulling, and you or anything. It can be gravity or it can be magnet, anything. At a খুব ভারী magnet, at a হালকা magnet দিয়ে আসবে না. Anything it can be. You মানে it's not you. Some force is there. So there is a push or a pull, or instead of you, right? There is a push or a pull, but the body does not move.
It's called static push.
Then the friction is called. No, this is not called. The friction is called static friction. But the body does not move. So the friction in this case, the friction is called static friction.
Okay.
So what is the work of the static friction? The work of this static friction is to be equal and opposite to the push. Equal and opposite to the push or pull. Friction is equal to the push or pull. It has to be equal. Unequal na hole to hobe na. It has to be equal. Equal na hole balanced force hobe na. They are equal. So they form a pair of balanced forces. A pair of balanced forces.
Okay.
And net effect zero. That is the first kind of friction, static friction. Next is what we call sliding friction. Sliding friction. When the body is actually moving, ever body starts moving. When body starts moving, this is in a moving body. Static friction, the body is not moving, the body is at rest. Sliding friction, the body is moving. When the body is moving, আবার ঘষা খাচ্ছে, ঘষা হচ্ছে and body move করছে. So in this case, your push or pull কখন move করবে? If push or pull is greater than friction. এটা ওই I told you last class. If push or pull is greater than friction, the body will move. If the push or pull is equal to friction, the body does not move. হয়েছিল না লাস্ট ক্লাসে?
Yes.
Push or pull is more than friction, then the body will move. If the push or pull is equal to friction, the body will not move. That's what he told you. So if the body is moving and push or pull is greater than friction, then it is sliding friction. And a rule taken a subtraction addition of friction. Supposing the push or pull or whatever it is, push is equal to say 20 newtons and friction is equal to say 8 newtons. So the body is moving because of 20 minus 8, opposite direction. Since they are in opposite direction, you will subtract. So net effect will be 20 minus 8, that will be equal to 12 newtons.
12.
So the body is moving because of 12 newtons, not because of 20 newtons. The push is 20 newtons, but the body is not moving because of 20 newtons. The body is moving because of 12 newtons. 8 newton friction. 8 newton friction. So 12 newton moves the body. Only this force moves the body. So 8 newton is not moving the body. 8 newton is trying to stop the body. 8 newtons tries to stop the body. 20 newtons is trying to move the body. So actually the body moves because of 12 newtons. The body is moving because of 12 newtons. Only 12 newton force will move the body. So actually the body is moving due to a force of 12 newtons. And the remaining 8 newtons is equal and opposite to the friction. So push or pull is more than the friction. Then the body will move. If push is 8 newtons, friction is 8 newtons, then what will happen? Push is equal to 8 newton, friction is equal to 8 newton. What will happen?
12 to 8 newton.
Both are 8.
Up.
Both are 8. Push equal to 8, friction equal to 8. Then what will happen?
0.
0. Then body will move. Yes or no? Will the body move? The body will move? No. Then that will be static friction. Then that will be static friction. Then that is the static friction. If the both are 8 newtons, you are pushing with 8 newton force, and the force of friction is also 8 newtons, then the net effect is 0. The body does not move, then it will be static friction. But if your push or pull is more and friction is less, then after subtracting, 12 newton force will move the body. 12 newton force will be moving the body. In that case, this is a sliding friction. Okay. So what we got about static friction? So what is the difference between static friction versus sliding friction? What is the difference?
Static friction is not move.
Friction doesn't move. The body does not move. Don't say friction doesn't move. The body does not move. The body does not move. Body
does not move.
Doesn't move. And here the body moves.
Body moves.
Second, friction is equal to push or pull.
Push or pull.
Friction is equal to push. I am writing push, but it can be push or pull. Or push or pull will write. Okay. Friction is equal to, and here push or pull is more and friction is less. Friction is less than push or pull is greater than friction. Friction is less and push or pull is more and the body moves. So when both are equal, the body doesn't move, static, and friction is smaller, push or pull is bigger, greater, the body moves, sliding. Both are equal and the body will not move, static. If friction is smaller, push or pull is greater, bigger force, then the body will move and sliding. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now the third type is after that, and the third type is called rolling friction. Rolling friction. Rolling friction is when a wheel or a ball rolls. When a wheel or a ball rolls on the ground.
On the ground.
Not sliding, but rolling. When a wheel or a ball rolls on the ground, like your tire, bicycle tires or your car tires, or a ball, so these will be called rolling friction.
Okay.
And rolling friction, why it is important? Because rolling friction is the smallest one. Rolling friction is very small.
Very
Rolling
small.
friction will be very small. If sliding friction is 8 newtons, rolling friction may be only 1 newton. Very small. That is why we put wheels. Below the chair we have wheels. On the bottom of the fridge we have wheels. Why? It is easier to move. If you have wheels, it is easier to move. If you don't have wheels, it is difficult. Rolling friction is very small. So out of the three frictions, the out of three friction, the sliding friction is maximum. Sliding friction is maximum, highest. Then you have static friction, slightly less, which is less than sliding, and last is rolling friction, minimum, very less. Rolling friction, the least or the smallest. Maximum sliding friction, a little less is static friction, and the minimum, smallest is rolling friction. Very small rolling friction. Rolling friction is very small. Right?
Okay.
So now you can understand why we put wheels. Why do we put wheels? All the wheels below the chair, आजकल तो chair तला चाका था, below the chair, wheels or balls below the chair, below the fridge stand, below the anything else that is moving, below the trolley bag, suitcase, the niche chaka, all the wheels in the trolley, all these are actually because rolling friction is very less. Why do we have wheels? Why do we use wheels? गाड़ीते तो आछे, that we are already in vehicles, cycle, scooter, lorry, car, that is there. But in addition, we are putting in trolley. Then in the suitcases, heavy suitcases. Then we have in bottom of this chairs. Then fridge stands. Fridge stand. And anything heavy, washing machine or anything. Sorry. So all this, why we put wheels? The only reason is that rolling friction is less. Rolling friction is very little.
ক্যারি করতে সুবিধা বলে
ক্যারি করবে না, ঠেলবে, ক্যারি করলে তো ঠেলতে হবে, গ্রাউন্ডে ঠেলতে হবে,
ঠেলার জন্য
ক্যারি করবেন। ইফ ইউ আর ক্যারিং ইট অন ইউর হেড, তাহলে হুইল থাকবে কি, ইট ডাজন্ট মেক এনি ডিফারেন্স। তাতে হয় না, যেখানে রোলিং করে নিয়ে যাবে, ঠেলতে নিয়ে যাবে, দেয়ার ইট ইজ ইউজ। মাথায় করে যদি ক্যারি করে অসুবিধা, তাহলে হুইল থাকলে না থাকলে কিছু আসে না। You're not carrying, but actually you are pushing it along the ground. All the things are being pushed along the ground. Easier to push or pull. Easier to push or pull on the ground. Ground এ push করতে হবে, মাথায় ক্যারি করে লাভ নেই। Easier to push or pull on the ground. Friction will be very less. Minimal. So easier to push or pull on the ground. সাইকেলটা মাথায় করে নিয়ে গিয়ে চাকা কোনো কাজ দেবে না। It has to be pushed or pulled on the ground. When it rolls on the ground, then it is easier. All these things we have wheels. Also ball bearings. Do you know what are ball bearings?
No.
Small wheels, small balls. Wheel মানে ওরকম নট চাকা না, স্মল বলস যেখানে যে কোনো দুটো মুভিং পার্টে থাকে। ইভেন এই স্লাইডিং ডোরস অ্যান্ড অল দ্যাট, স্লাইডিং ডোরসের তলায় আর উপরে স্মল বলস, পাকা ঘুরছে, স্মল বলস আর দেয়ার, বল বেয়ারিংস। সো when they move, you don't have a rubbing, but the balls will be moving. Small ball bearings. These ball bearings between moving parts. Even sliding হয় না, কাঁচের যে স্লাইডিং করি ওখানে
Yes.
top and bottom you will have ball bearings. In many cases we have ball bearings. তাহলে কি হবে, it is easier to it will move very smoothly. Ball bearings, that is ball bearings. So all these work on one principle, that rolling friction is very less. Principle aki, rule aki. What is the rule? Friction, rolling friction is very less. The reason is only one reason. Reason is rolling friction is minimum. Is minimal. Minimal is rolling friction compared to sliding friction. Move korte gele static friction is not going to help. Static friction is the body doesn't move. If I want to move some body, then static friction is not going to help. But rolling friction and sliding friction, ei duto, because rolling friction is less, it is easier to move. Static friction e to kono kaj nei. When you are moving something, then static friction is not going to help you. Static friction is the body move korbei na. So if the body is moving, it has to be either rolling or sliding. So out of that, rolling friction is very, very less. Compared to sliding friction, the rolling friction will be very, very small. Okay?
Okay.
In next class, we will be doing the effects of friction. The effects of friction we said. So what are the effects of friction? One second recap. Effects of friction. One is it opposes motion. It opposes motion. It may be good or bad. Second, it opposes motion. Second, heating effect. It causes heat. Anything that you rub will become hot. Heating effect. Any moving part, any fan, any mixer, grinder, it will become hot. Heating effect.
Yes.
And third is wear and tear. Wear and tear means damage due to repeated rubbing. Damage due to repeated rubbing. বারবার repeated rubbing করে যে নষ্ট হয়ে যায়, that is repeated rubbing, that is called wear and tear. And the three types of friction: static, when the
Static, right,
sliding
and rolling.
Sliding and rolling. Static, when the body does not move because the pull or the push is equal to the force. The body does not move. The body does not move when pull or push is equal and opposite to friction. Friction to opposite is always, friction সবসময় opposite হবে, but equal to. Sliding when push or pull is more than friction. Push or pull is greater than friction and the body moves. The body moves. And rolling when it is a ball or wheel. Ball or wheel rolling on the ground or somewhere. Rolling on the surface. Okay? Right?
Okay.
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 So, the next class will be either mathematics class or whenever we have this physics class, the next class will be the what is good in friction and what is bad in friction. How friction is good, it is helping us, and how friction is bad, it's a problem for us. We call it advantage and disadvantage. Advantage means why friction is good. Sometimes friction is good, and why friction is bad. Why friction is good? একটা এক কেস দেখিয়েছিলাম তোমাকে, that person walking on the sloping, দেখেছিলাম না, person is walking on the sloping, this one, or is standing on the slope, দেখেছিলাম last class.
Yes.
একটা স্লোপিং এ ইউ ক্যান স্ট্যান্ড, নাহলে স্লোপিং এ তুমি দাঁড়াতে পারবে না, ইউ উইল স্লাইড ডাউন, ইউ আর স্ট্যান্ডিং অন দ্য স্লোপ. So like that, why friction is good, why friction is an advantage, and secondly, why friction is bad or problem, that is disadvantage. Why friction is a problem. সো এই যে বললাম বাসন ফুটো হয়ে যাচ্ছে, ঘষে ঘষে জুতো নষ্ট হয়ে যাচ্ছে. সো when friction is a problem and when friction is very good for us. So that is the next class, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So next class, next Saturday, we'll meet again.
Okay.